continue. So if you go through the booklet, I assigned trig review A, trig review B, trig review C at this point. I believe that all three of those have some kind of compass direction question in there. So I would aim for those. Make sure you understand how to do those. But don't forget about the regular word problems, okay? Because those are important as well. Okay. So here we go. Eagle is sitting at the top of a 25-foot tree. On the top, the top of the tree, she spots a rabbit to the left at an angle of depression of 51 degrees. At the same time, the eagle spots another rabbit to the right angle of depression of 37 degrees. Okay. Calculate the distance between the two rabbits. B, calculate the direct distance between the eagle and both rabbits. Make sure I have this written down. And then we'll give it a go. Because these ones are actually harder than you think. And you'll see why. More steps involved. So let's sketch this thing. Step number 1, right? So we have the ground here. I'll just make the tree look like this. And at the top, we have the eagle sitting there, right? And then it's spotting two rabbits, right? To the left and to the right, to the east or west, right? Like I could have used that language as well. So I am thinking, right? How is the angle of depression measured? Harleen is saying horizontal, right? Between the horizontal and line looking down. So if I don't care if it's drawn to scale, right? But if we call this rabbit 1 and rabbit 2, oops, that's how it would be left and right. So obviously there's a line of sight to the first one and a line of sight to the second one. Do not put the angles of depression in here. That's wrong. So you have to imagine a horizontal line. So let's focus on the first one. We have the 51 degree there. And then you imagine a horizontal line and put the 37 in there. And by the way, the tree, we're assuming that it's making a 90, right? Because, you know, most trees, right, make a 90 with the ground, most trees, more or less. So we also know that this tree itself is 25 meters. So the vertical height here of this, in this triangle, we actually know the height. So calculate the distance between the two rabbits. This is tricky, okay? Because there's no way, like the only side you're given is this one. So it's almost like splitting this triangle into two right triangles. And that should be your game plan. We're gonna find this, we're gonna find x using this triangle, and we're gonna find y using that second triangle formed, and we're gonna add those up, and that's how you should solve this type of question. And I'm trying to think, how should I, there's a couple ways of doing it, but do you see alternate interior angles? You see them? Yeah? It's actually there. Like these two are like, this is horizontal to or parallel to that one. So we can actually write the 37 in here. And we can actually bring the 51 in there. Okay. So now they're both inside the triangle. I want you to know that this is a straight line. So technically this whole thing adds up to 180, right? So you could go 180 minus this minus that to get the whole thing. But right now it's not very useful to me because I don't have the side length across from it. Get it? But I do have the side lengths. If you just focus on these two angles, 25 is right there. 51 has 25 across from it as well. That's why I wanted these two. Okay, so I'm trying to not overcomplicate things, but really I started with angle of depression. They find their way in. You can always do that with angle of depression, right? When you have the line of sight, bring it in. So it doesn't matter which one you start with, right? Maybe we'll split this into triangle 1 and triangle 2. So if I work with triangle 1, just for now, I think as you do more examples, you're not going to need this. But this is 25, 51, x. Right? I'm just drawing out what I know. Do you have a pair? You actually do have a pair. Okay, so this is sine law. And so you go sine of 51 over 25 is equal to, you want this side right here. Could you possibly find this one up here? Yeah, because this is 180, right? And this is 90. So just to get that one, all I have to do is 90 minus 51. The reason I go 90 minus 51, folks, because this is 90, right? So if I take this away from 180, I'm left with 90. So these two always add up to 90. So what am I left with? Yeah. So, right, 9 gets you to 60. So 29, right? So sine of 29 over x. I will show you that I plug that in there. And then you just cross multiply. So 25. So you know how I keep on telling you I'm not teaching you anything new? This is why, like, I'm really not teaching. 9 gets you to 60. I need it to be 90. Yes, sorry. Oh my goodness. There you go. Thank you, Richard. You saved the day. You saved the day. There. Is it Monday? Yeah, it is Monday. That's why. Anyways, there you go. So we go 25 times sine of 39 divided by, I always go enter and then I go divided by sine of 51. Okay? So that's 20.24 rounded. I'm okay rounding here to 2 decimals. Otherwise it gets too complicated. I underline that with waves because that's not my final answer just yet. I'm going to then go second triangle, which should be a little bit longer. It's a 90 on this side too. If this is a 90 here, it's a 90 on the other side as well. This is 25. This is 37. Come on, we can do this, folks. We can do it. We have a pair here as well. So I'm going to go sine of 37 over 25. It's repetition, right? And so this angle right here is 90 minus the 37, right? So 3 gets me to 40, and I need another 50, right? So 53. Right, now I got it right, I think. So sine of 53 over y. Keep on breaking everything. Must be that anger built up. Calm down. It's okay. You can be wrong every once in a while, right? Sine 37 y is equal to, let's see, 25 times sine of 53. Hit enter, then go divided by sine of 37. 33.18. Underline. So distance between rabbit 1 and rabbit 2 is x plus y, which will be 20.24 plus 33.18, which is 53.42 meters. Maybe I'll give it a subtitle later yet, like a subheading at the top, so you know like how to work with two right triangles. Okay. B, the direct distance. I will do this. Because I can go back to this. I know that this is now 53.42. This is 51. This is 37. then this is now, to get that one, I just go 180 minus 51 minus 37. That's 92 degrees. So now I'm not going to call these X and Y. I have to go W, Z or something. So I'm going to use this as my pair and just go sine of 92 over 53.42 is equal to sine of 51 over Z. Z is equal to 53.42 times sine of 51, right? Cross multiply and then divide by sine of 92. Maybe it's expired lead, that's what it is. Does lead ever expire? Maybe it does. Maybe I just need to spend more on lead. Okay, 4154 meters. If you clearly give me a label diagram like this, I know what you mean with finding Z, right? And let's do this one more time. A little faster this time. I'm going to now use 37 degrees, which will give me W. This one, I think you should take a close look at it after we're done today. Just make sure you understand what just happened. You will notice that dividing by sine of 92 doesn't make a big difference, but it does make a small change. Could you have used Pythagorean theorem? You could have. If you, I will show you that. I just want to make sure everybody can copy this. If you go back to the two right triangles we just worked with, if you had wanted to use Pythagorean theorem for both of them, just find that hypotenuse for both of them, you're technically good to go. I'm okay with that. You can use that for, but I have students trying a Pythagorean theorem on non-right triangles when I do that. I don't want you to make that mistake. So I kind of tend to just stick with sine law, cosine law. Okay. What did I have here? Oh yeah, I assigned everything already, pretty much everything that I can assign from that booklet. So I'm going to give you a handout that I somehow didn't make it into that booklet. It has a lot, like it reviews older units, but don't worry about, like I just want you to focus on the trig part. So it looks like this. I'll just give you a glimpse. Right, looks like this. It goes through quads, chapter 7, right? Chapter 2, and trig, chapter 3, basically. I just want you to focus on that, which is the first couple of questions here. 5 word problems. If you want to do the rest, go for it, but I would say just do that one. Strongly encourage you to do the word problems.